guys, welcome back, and today is the last cycle of Windler bench press for me, and I am going to enjoy this workout, or I did enjoy this workout rather, because I just recently ordered some bands for bench pressing from Rogue Fitness. I really wish that I would have looked around before I bought the bands, because I ended up purchasing two 50-pound bands from Rogue, and they cost me about 30 bucks. And then I looked at Anderson Powerlifting, and I could have got two 100-pound bands for I think $18 for the pair. So word of advice, definitely shop around if you can. This was definitely a learning curve for me, because I've never used bands in a workout before except for deadlifting, so never in the bench press, and it was a little bit tricky, especially when you are unracking the weight, because the band is going to want to move the bar directly over the fixed point. And for me on my weight, the fixed point is a little bit forward than where I unrack it. So I got into a situation where when I unracked the bar, it slung the bar forward over me. And that first rep ended up being a little bit hard to complete, because I had to all of a sudden try and stabilize the bar before I could begin the lift. So one of the things that I said in the previous video was that I am going to enjoy the Windler program, because it sort of opens up some time for me to work on the weaker point of my lift. And so with that, I am able to work on sort of, for me, my sticking point is probably about 4 inches off the chest through the lockout. So using bands on the bench press is really going to help me strengthen that part of my lift. And that's only because as the bar moves forward towards the top part of the lift, the bands stretch and you get that added resistance. So I'm not sure if I set the bands up the right way, because at the lowest part of the movement there was still a lot of tension on the bands. So I might have actually over-tensioned the bands to begin with, because at the lowest part of the movement I was probably still feeling about 25 pounds of additional resistance, and that increases to 50 pounds as you go through the movement. But this can be very, very beneficial, because it's going to help me with the bar speed coming off my chest, which I don't necessarily have a problem with, because I do have a lot of good leg and hip drive, but it's going to also help me with my lockout. So the bands are helping me at two different parts of my bench press, and I think overall, if I continue to do these, I will have great benefit from it. So here you can see me getting set up for I did some spoto presses, and one of the things that I really did like when I was doing these spoto presses was after I removed the bands from the bar and I went into the spoto press, it still felt like I had that additional resistance pulling the bar down into me. And normally spoto presses at 225 ain't no thing, but after doing the band workout, my chest was done, it was shot. And to feel like I still had an additional resistance or an additional force pulling that bar down into me was a good feeling. And so even here during these tricep pushdowns, you can see the pump that my chest has. I mean, it was actually just really amazing. And I was very, very sore from this workout. Maybe within an hour, 2 hours after that. And I'm very rarely sore from bench pressing because my capacity is really high. But overall, I love the bands, and I think I'm going to incorporate them more into my workout, because I do believe they can be very beneficial.